You're watching NewsHour on TRT World. New Zealand has voted to legalize euthanasia. Citizens voted in the referendum earlier this month while casting ballots during a general election. Preliminary results show more than 65% voted in favor of legislation permitting euthanasia. The law will allow terminally ill people with less than 6 months to live the opportunity to choose assisted dying if approved by 2 doctors. It will come into effect next year. Well, assisted suicide remains a contentious topic around the globe. New Zealand will be one of just a handful of countries to allow it. Efforts to change government policies have met with mixed success. The Netherlands was the first country to legalize voluntary euthanasia in 2001, with Belgium following the year after. Canada legalized the practice in 2016 after a series of Supreme Court rulings striking down a ban on medically assisted suicide. And in 2019, the Australian states of Victoria and Western Australia became the latest jurisdictions to allow the practice. It remains illegal in the rest of the country. Dr. Bharat Pankania is a senior clinical lecturer at the University of Exeter Medical School. He joins me now from Bath in the United Kingdom. Good to have you on the program with us again, Doctor. Can you first explain to us what is euthanasia exactly? Because we hear a number of different terms being tossed around. Is this the same as doctor-assisted suicide? And also, who can qualify for it, and how is the decision made?
Yes, so euthanasia is focusing on people who are at the end stages of their lives. So the New Zealand version is if you have less than 6 months of a terminal illness and you have got mental capacity to make that decision, then you are allowed to make that decision. Only Switzerland, to my knowledge, allows assisted suicide. So assisted suicide is quite different from euthanasia, and euthanasia is precisely focusing on end-of-life measures.
I know that you have personal experience of working with people who are terminally ill, and where you are in the United Kingdom, euthanasia is not legal. But talk to us about some of the legal and moral issues that might arise here. For example, euthanasia tourism, someone from the United Kingdom, for example, traveling to a country like New Zealand where this is legal.
Well, I hope that what we can do is we provide good end-of-life care. And I remember very, very clearly when I was training to be a general practitioner and discussing these issues, and this is more than 35 years ago, our line, and my line still is, if you enable good living, even in the terminal months of your life, then euthanasia becomes irrelevant. But I can see that if there is a lot of pain and a lot of suffering, then some medications may enable you to be relieved of your pain and at the same time hasten your death. But this is a very fine line, very emotive subject. My view is that we provide excellent care, such excellent care that only very few people will actually say, despite your excellent care, I would still like to terminate my life before its due time naturally.
And it's clear that there is a lot of opposition to this because there's only a handful of countries that do allow euthanasia. For those who do oppose it, what are the main reasons for it? What's the opposition?
Well, the opposition is life is sacred and life has to be preserved, and I understand that. My view is also that we don't want people to feel that they're a burden and therefore they hasten their lives. We as civilized nations ought to suffer the dying, the terminally ill with all the best services we can give them. So we don't want to give people at the end stages of their life the impression that they are a burden. That's one thing. And the other thing is we do need very, very important checks and balances. And the more checks and balances that we have from maybe more than 2, 3, 4 independent doctors from different parts of the country, all looking at the case and then enabling those decisions to be made independently, that would be a better safeguard as well.
And for people in the countries where this is legal who do choose to end their lives, how is euthanasia carried out? I know that it's at least 2 doctors have to agree to it, but is it done in a facility at home? Is there a doctor present? What's the process?
Well, depending on the circumstances, here we are dealing with the terminally ill. So the best thing is that they are at home, in their safe environment where they're comfortable. And basically what you are saying is you give them an injection which allows them to be pain-free and slowly go to sleep forever. These are easy processes to do with the right medications, but again, it has to be done under supervision, and you don't want to stress and harass and create other hurdles for somebody who is already terminally ill. But having said all of that, my preference is that we provide good life care even when you're terminally ill. If we provide good life care, then the idea of I need to also terminate your life becomes null and void. It's that importance of having specialists, people who know what they're doing, giving good end-of-life care.
All right, I appreciate you joining us on the program today on this very difficult subject to talk about. Dr. Bharat Pankhania, thank you.
Indeed.